Let's get started with our first news. Ian Gary believes he's undeniable for a title shot if he beats Belal Muhammad. Ian Gary says that if he defeats Belal Muhammad this weekend at UFC, he will be undeniable for a welterweight title shot. He posted a video of his reaction and predicted some results as they were going to happen. He even called that left-hand process right away, showing just how confident he is. But the bigger question is what this does to the title picture and whether it adds pressure or urgency to perform a certain way this weekend. Gary explains that when the lay of the land was laid out for everyone, and it was known that Patrick would fight Leon, and Du Plessis would face someone else, and then Khamzat would fight JDM, and he would face Belal. It was clear that the 8 best players on the planet were competing within 7 days of each other. The champion was essentially decided, but for the other 6 competitors, it didn't matter until Gary's fight came. He emphasizes that he has beaten Patrick before and knows his own capabilities. When he knocks out Belal Muhammad on Saturday night, he believes he will be an absolute force in the welterweight division. There will be no debate. He will be the next in line, undeniable, and the path to the title will be his to claim. Gary's confidence is evident, and he is focused entirely on his performance. He doesn't allow distractions or the broader context of the division to affect him. The only thing that matters is his fight and proving himself in the octagon. This mindset has him laser-focused on execution and delivering a performance that cannot be ignored. Once he secures this victory, he believes the rest of the welterweight landscape becomes irrelevant to him. His eyes are set on the prize, and he knows exactly what he has to do to earn that title shot. For Ian Gary, this fight is more than just a matchup. It's an opportunity to cement himself as undeniable. He's prepared, he's confident, and he's ready to prove that when he steps into the octagon, there is no question about who deserves the next shot. This weekend, it's all or nothing, and Gary is ready to claim his place among the elite. Move on to another news. Islam Makhachev is officially pound-for-pound #1. Following his win over JDM over the weekend, Islam Makhachev has dethroned Ilia Topuria and now sits at the very top of the UFC pound-for-pound rankings. This victory cements his status as one of the most dominant fighters in the sport, showing his skill, precision, and control inside the octagon. Fans and analysts alike are recognizing just how elite Islam has become, and there's no denying his place among the all-time greats. Speaking of the pound-for-pound debate, Bryce Mitchell recently shared his bold thoughts on the topic. He explained why he believes he is the true pound-for-pound #1, and his confidence is impossible to ignore. When asked who he considers the pound-for-pound best right now, he didn't hesitate. His answer was simple and direct: me. Hell yeah. Bryce doesn't just claim the title casually. He breaks down his reasoning with absolute certainty. He points out that pound for pound means there are no limits. Weight classes, restrictions, or rules don't matter. In his words, it means he could even grab a gun and dominate in the woods, metaphorically emphasizing that pound for pound supremacy isn't about traditional fighting boundaries. Bryce pushes the concept to its extreme, saying it allows him to face heavyweights and anyone in the sport. It's this unshakable confidence and unique perspective that makes him a standout voice in the debate. He continues to assert that he is the best pound-for-pound fighter to ever compete in the UFC, unafraid to challenge conventional thinking or the established hierarchy. His vision of pound-for-pound greatness goes beyond grappling or striking. It's about dominance, strategy, and a mindset that transcends the octagon. Every word he speaks reflects an intensity and certainty that demands attention. While Islam Makhachev holds the official rankings at #1 pound for pound, Bryce's viewpoint reminds fans that discussions about the greatest fighters in the world are always evolving. The pound for pound conversation is as much about skill and record as it is about attitude and confidence, and both Islam and Bryce exemplify these qualities in different ways. This debate highlights just how competitive the UFC landscape is right now. Every fighter at the top is redefining what it means to be elite, and both Islam Makhachev and Bryce Mitchell are living proof of that evolution. The UFC pound-for-pound list isn't just about numbers. It's about influence, dominance, and leaving a lasting mark on the sport. Move on to another news. Demetrius Johnson believes that JDM may have been injured during his fight with Islam Makhachev. Watching the fight closely, Demetrius noticed the grimace on JDM's face, and it immediately raised concern. He felt that something was off, that JDM was not performing at 100% in the octagon. The signs were subtle but consistent throughout the fight, and to a trained eye like Demetrius, they were impossible to ignore. Demetrius explained that seeing JDM make that face repeatedly during the fight suggested that he was probably battling an injury. It wasn't just a momentary reaction. It was persistent, affecting the entire pace and movement of the fight. Every expression, every grimace told a story of struggle beyond what fans could see on the surface. He acknowledged that he could be wrong, but his instincts and experience in high-level competition made him trust that something was impacting JDM's performance. He emphasized that fighting while injured in the UFC is no small challenge. The octagon demands full physical and mental capacity, and any limitation can dramatically change the dynamics of a fight. JDM, known for his toughness and resilience, still showed immense skill and determination, but the signs of potential injury were visible to those paying close attention. Demetrius pointed out that even the most subtle indicators, like facial expressions and slight hesitations, can reveal a lot about a fighter's condition. In Demetrius's eyes, JDM's performance under these circumstances was even more impressive because it highlighted his ability to compete despite potential setbacks. The grimace was not just a sign of pain, it was a symbol of fighting through adversity, of pushing through obstacles that most people would not even notice. It's a testament to JDM's heart and commitment to the sport, showing that he gives everything in the octagon, regardless of the circumstances. This insight from Demetrius Johnson adds a new layer to how fans and analysts view JDM's fight against Islam Makhachev. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about understanding the challenges fighters face behind the scenes. Injuries, endurance, and mental toughness all play a crucial role in shaping a fighter's performance. And Demetrius's perspective reminds everyone that what happens inside the octagon is often more complex than it appears. JDM's courage and determination shine through, making his performance even more noteworthy and highlighting why he remains a respected and formidable competitor in the UFC. Move on to another news. Both Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen admitted that they felt bad for JDM after his fight with Islam Makhachev. Watching the fight, they noticed the pain on JDM's face, a grimace that clearly said, "I'm hurt." It wasn't just the expression of a fighter struggling in the octagon. It was deeper, more human. Daniel Cormier explained that it wasn't just about the athlete, it was about the father in him. As a father, he felt an instinctive urge to reach out, to offer comfort, to ask, "Young man, are you okay? Do we need to get you something?" The pain on JDM's face was real, raw, and it resonated deeply with both commentators. Chael Sonnen echoed the sentiment, describing how watching JDM in that moment made him feel genuinely sad. It wasn't about analyzing technique or performance. It was about seeing a young man look dejected and broken. The fight with Islam was brutal, and JDM's grimace told the story of someone who had given everything he had, only to be visibly hurt and overwhelmed in the process. Both Cormier and Sonnen felt that emotional connection, recognizing the vulnerability behind the fighter's resolve. They emphasized that in moments like these, the human element of MMA becomes impossible to ignore. It's not just about wins, losses, or rankings. It's about the resilience, the struggle, and the sacrifices each fighter makes. JDM's expression of pain, his visible struggle, made it clear that he was more than just a competitor in the cage. He was someone facing a challenge that went beyond physical combat. And both Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen responded with empathy and understanding. Cormier admitted that seeing JDM like that brought out his protective instincts, the father in him wanting to step in and offer help. Sonnen added that he felt a genuine sense of sadness for JDM, noting how defeated and worn down he looked. These reactions highlight how even the most experienced fighters and commentators can connect with the emotional and human side of MMA, where strength isn't just measured in punches or takedowns, but in courage and heart. The way JDM fought, despite the pain and the grimace that never left his face, showed his dedication and commitment to the sport. It reminded everyone watching that fighters are human, capable of experiencing fear, pain, and disappointment, even while displaying incredible skill and tenacity. Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen's reactions serve as a powerful reminder of the respect and empathy that exists in the sport, even in the face of brutal competition. JDM's fight was not just a battle in the octagon, it was a testament to the human spirit. Move on to another news. Kamaru Usman reacted to Leon Edwards getting knocked out by Carlos Pates over the weekend, and his response captured the raw emotion and shock of that moment. He described the scene with intensity, noting how unforgiving this sport truly is. Watching Leon Edwards get hit with that devastating head kick, Usman couldn't hide his disbelief. He recounted the event as if replaying it in slow motion, emphasizing how brutal and sudden it all happened. The kick was precise, powerful, and had a dramatic impact, leaving Edwards sprawled and vulnerable in the octagon. Usman talked about how Leon was left out there on a stretcher, highlighting the severity of the knockout. He mentioned Jorge Masvidal's role in helping get Leon out safely, but the sight was still shocking. The head kick echoed across the MMA world, leaving fans and fighters alike stunned. Usman described the moment, recalling how Leon's eyes rolled to the back of his head, showing the true force of the strike. The intensity of the knockout was such that it left a lasting impression on everyone watching, including experienced fighters like Usman himself. He reflected on the unpredictability of the sport, noting that no matter how skilled or prepared a fighter is, anything can happen in the octagon. One moment, you're in control, and the next, everything can change in an instant. That unpredictability is what makes MMA both exhilarating and dangerous, and Usman's reaction captured the respect and caution every fighter feels. He acknowledged that these moments are reminders of the fragility of a fighter's career and the risks they face every time they step into the cage. Usman also touched on the emotional impact, saying that seeing someone like Leon Edwards in that situation is intense. Even though it's part of the sport, witnessing a peer or rival in that vulnerable state brings a mix of concern, empathy, and reflection. The knockout wasn't just a highlight. It was a reminder that MMA is unforgiving, that one strike can change everything, and that fighters must always be aware of the dangers that come with the game. In conclusion, Usman's reaction showed both his shock and his deep understanding of the sport. He conveyed the drama, the danger, and the human element behind a knockout. The fight between Leon Edwards and Carlos Pates will be remembered not just for the result, but for the sheer impact of that head kick and the way it reverberated through the MMA world. The sport is unpredictable, brutal, and intense, and Usman's response captured that perfectly. Move on to another news. Sean O'Malley shared his thoughts on Khabib retiring early and reflected on the incredible career he could have had if he stayed active longer. Sean believes that if Khabib had never retired, he could have achieved everything Islam Makhachev has accomplished so far. He highlighted that Khabib's skill, discipline, and dominance were unmatched, and that there's no doubt he could have made a similar impact in both the lightweight and welterweight divisions. O'Malley noted that Khabib is likely getting a lot of satisfaction from his pupils and the fighters he has coached, seeing them succeed at the highest levels. Still, he can't help but imagine what Khabib could have done had he continued competing. According to Sean, Khabib could have remained a dominant force at 155 pounds, but he also could have moved up to 170 pounds and challenged himself against new opponents, continuing to prove why he's considered one of the greatest of all time. He emphasized that the idea of not reaching full potential is something that resonates deeply, even for fighters like Khabib. Sean shared his own perspective as a competitor, saying that he thinks a lot about taking full advantage of his prime years, from ages 30 to 35, when his body and skills are at their peak. He believes in giving everything he has in training and competition, putting in maximum effort regardless of whether it leads to more success or not. This mindset drives him to fight with intensity and commitment, always striving to reach his personal best. He also praised Islam Makhachev, noting that Islam is skilled enough to succeed even in the middleweight division. Sean pointed out that Islam could compete at 185 pounds and likely beat most opponents, demonstrating the versatility and talent he possesses. He even speculated about a matchup between Khamzat and Islam, describing Khamzat as a bigger version of Islam. Sean admitted that such a fight would be incredible to watch, especially from a grappling perspective, and would showcase elite-level technique and strategy. Ultimately, Sean O'Malley's commentary highlights the fine balance between retirement, legacy, and potential in MMA. Khabib's early retirement left fans wondering what more he could have accomplished, while fighters like Islam Makhachev continue to push the boundaries of what is possible inside the octagon. Sean's reflections remind fans that the pursuit of excellence in MMA is relentless, and taking full advantage of prime years, skill, and opportunity is what separates great fighters from legends. Move on to another news. Ali Abdelaziz admitted that the plan was for Khabib to eventually move up to 170 pounds, but his close friendship with Kamaru Usman prevented it from ever happening. Ali explained that at one point, the plan in his mind was clear. Khabib was destined to test himself in the welterweight division, to take on new challenges and continue building his legacy. However, the timing didn't align, and Kamaru was already established in that weight class. Their strong friendship played a major role in the decision, as Khabib didn't want to interfere with Kamaru's path or take away opportunities from a close friend and teammate. Ali described Khabib as a fighter with a unique mindset, someone who approaches competition differently than others, including Islam Makhachev. He highlighted that Khabib's respect for his peers and loyalty to his friends shaped his choices in ways that went beyond rankings or titles. While Islam was ready to step in and take fights, Khabib was careful to navigate the situation with consideration for those around him. Ali noted that Islam's opportunity to fight Belal came later, after Belal lost the title to JDM, opening a door for Islam to showcase his dominance. Ali emphasized how strong and dominant Islam is, praising his physicality, skill, and intelligence in the octagon. He pointed out that Islam was prepared for that opportunity and took full advantage of it, demonstrating why he is now considered one of the elite fighters in the division. The combination of timing, respect, and strategy played a huge role in how these matchups unfolded, with Khabib's decision to delay moving to welterweight reflecting both his character and the complex dynamics of MMA at the highest level. The situation highlights how friendships and loyalty can influence career paths in the sport. Khabib could have moved up, challenged new opponents, and potentially added more accolades to his already legendary career. Yet, his respect for Kamaru Usman and his team took precedence, showing that sometimes fighters prioritize principles and relationships over personal glory. Ali's insight gives fans a behind-the-scenes look at the strategic and personal decisions that shape MMA careers. It's not just about skill, strength, or opportunity. It's also about timing, loyalty, and choosing the right moment to act. Khabib's choice, while delaying his potential welterweight campaign, reflects his thoughtful approach to the sport, and Islam's rise demonstrates how timing and readiness can create a path to dominance. The story underscores the intricate balance between opportunity, friendship, and competition at the highest level of MMA.